defensively more? Because this month, in January, like opponents against you guys are shooting the fewest amount of threes that they have all year. I think it's down to like 32 a game, but they're also shooting the highest percentage, almost. It's like 40%. Like, is it better for you guys that you're limiting the total number of attempts from three from opponents?
Yeah, we definitely want to limit to the total amount. You know, when teams shoot 45, 53s, you know, it's hard to win those games. I mean, because a lot of them are really quality shots, and so yeah, we're doing a good job of protecting the paint and then getting back out and you know, getting some late contests on certain shooters, but other guys we know we got to run off. It's really more of a game plan thing. Like, we know coming to the game, their teams are, you know, big paint teams, you know, getting to the paint and scoring. So we want to take away the paint, and then we want to get out to their shooters and run them off the line. If they're, you know, decent shooters, we want to just get late contests. And so the percentages might be higher, but we want to limit those guys as much as possible.
How does sort of that, I guess, encouragement that you guys are doing well, running teams off the line, or at least adhering to the matchup, versus how you feel about the defense overall this month?
Yeah, I think defense has been really good. You know, I think we got to get back to being better in the pick and roll game as far as hitting the bodies first before the screen hits you, of a physicality in the pick and roll. But overall, just our transition defense, like I said, has to keep getting better. But our half-court defense has been really solid.
Is it kind of, would you expect a drop off with Zoo being off the floor for so long now?
Would I what?
Would you expect any kind of drop off defensively with Zoo being out?
I mean, they do different things, but I think, you know, the ability with Tyson, with Mace, he had to switch a little bit to change coverages, probably had to blitz a little bit more instead of being in drops with Zoo because he's a better rim protector, but just got to be able to do different things.
I don't know if you knew Dejan Milosevic, but seeing a member of the coach friend, you know, pass away and everything, I just want to know how much you knew about him and kind of how you've been able to, you know, be in touch with them if you had it all.
Yeah, I talked to Steve. You know, devastating day, like I said, for the coaching circle and his family, his friends, you know, just the NBA in general. You know, when you lose someone that you compete against, and I had an opportunity to interview him because we almost brought him here, you know, and so I had a chance to talk to him and interview him, and an unbelievable person. You know, he talked about coaching, and we know he's a good coach and great coach, but just an unbelievable person. And even when, you know, we didn't hire him, he didn't get the job, we still talked and communicated and gave him some pointers about some other players, which I ain't gonna say names, but just a great, you know, genuine person.
I mean, just how was Zoo taking the lead? He was his coach.
Yeah, Zoo, it was tough, you know, just talking to him and checking with him, and you know, it was with Zoo since he was younger, you know, and so that was one of the reasons for, you know, wanting to bring him in and having a guy that Zoo's been around and Zoo's respect so much and actually, you know, played for. And so that was the real reason, like you said, of bringing him in and giving him an opportunity. But he was great, you know, and so it's just tough to see something like that happen. Thank you. Oh, I'm sorry. What you got? I'm sorry.
I was going to ask you, you guys are about middle of the road in terms of three-point rate, and obviously you guys lead the league in three-point shooting. Kind of along the lines of what Andrew was asking defensively, but for you guys offensively with threes, would you want to see more threes? I mean, because also you guys do lead the league, I believe, to have the fewest amount of assisted threes.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of just curious if you're fine with the quality of threes you're getting, would like to see you guys take more threes.
You know, I would like to get more threes, but not at the expense of, you know, not attacking the paint, you know, not making the right play and taking tougher shots. You know, so I think the game kind of dictates, you know, how many threes you get up or how many shots you get from the perimeter. But we want to be a team that touches the paint first before we, you know, take threes. And I know James is, you know, great with the step back threes, and PG's great with off the dribble threes and the pick and rolls and things like that. As far as just like, you know, getting into the paint, making the right play, you will always want to generate those kind of threes. So it's kind of like a fine line. Like the game kind of dictates, you know, how many threes you're going to get up or if we're taking the right shots or not.
If I may, like, you talk about your offensive goals. How much control does James have on the floor of seeing something he might want to change and be able to run it? Like, I'm not sure if you call something, it's his power to override that just on basing what he's seen. Like, how does that work between you guys, when James and you?
Yeah, I mean, you know, Kawhi, PG, Russ, it's all the same. You know, we see something that that works that maybe I don't see, like saying, well, they played it like this last time, like let's do it this way, and then okay, all right, let's try it, But I might see it a different way, like no, let's do it this way to make sure we're doing it right. But I have no problem, like I said, with our teams, IQ and understanding the game and seeing how teams are guarding them and defending them and what might work, what they see. I trust those guys in that regard. Not as much on challenges, when they foul a guy and they do this, what I'm saying? They don't get. But on the floor when teams are guarding them a certain way, I do trust their judgment, and try to understand what they're seeing and try to go from there.
Thank you.
Yeah.